Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Rambling Gamer Podcast, where and with we, I mean I myself, GTA Man, the Liberty Lunatic, you can call me all kinds of stuff which I can't say because we can, once again, not swear on this podcast because we're officially on iTunes. Don't ask how we got there. It was an interesting conversation getting it up there and all that stuff, but yeah, we're up there, and we're not actually labeled as profanity for some reason. Maybe that's because Dante keeps saying to me, "Don't swear," and if I do, we'll probably be already up there within the first minute of this podcast. Anyway, as you can hear, we're probably rambling about a lot of stuff that is not even having to do with any games. So, welcome to the Rambling Gamer Podcast with I myself, GTA Man, aka the Liberty Lunatic, aka a whole lot of stuff, aka the Saints Row hater, and my good friend Dante Zero, aka the Gaming Ninja. I don't know what he calls himself these days, but he's here, so say hello.
Hello. Yes, it is the Gaming Ninja.
It is.
I think my Facebook middle name's something like Legendary Gaming Ninja as well. I don't know how Facebook still let me have that. It's weird.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Once I was Tommy Vercetti on Facebook, and I got friend requests from people from Brazil. It was brilliant, man. I was
uh,
just trolling all my friends, well, quote unquote, friends on Facebook with Tommy Vercetti, and some people caught onto it. It was like, what the hell? Tommy Vercetti? Yo, that's awesome, man. And it's like, then 2 seconds later, oh, wait, it's you.
yeah, it was a nightmare trying to like find you to send you stuff and post things on your wall. 'Cause it's like, how did I end up with Tommy Fassetti on my friends list? Who the hell's Tommy Fassetti? I don't know why, but just always used to confuse me, even though I really knew who it was. But yeah.
Yeah, so the Rambling Gamer podcast, where we switch from games to Facebook.
Yeah. We don't talk about games, we spend all day on Facebook.
Farmville!
Yay!
Oh my god, what's next? Candy Crush? Get
I
out
was
of
gonna say, does it just Farmville even relevant anymore? Surely it's got to be all about the Candy Crush.
I don't know. I don't really come near to that. I mean, I got other stuff to worry about, like how bad Saints Row of a game it is. Speaking of Saints Row and how bad it is, be sure to watch my review on my channel. Shameless plug number one. Yeah, well, we're plugging. This podcast is once again a collaboration with TrophiesonPSN.com, GamingOnRevel.com, all kinds of other 18 plus websites, but we're not sure if we can mention them. But yeah, instead of actually going on some rant about all kinds of stuff that's not relevant, but which is actually pretty typical after 3 weeks of this podcast, we should dive into something that's actually interesting after 4 minutes. Um, that is the PlayStation Store update. And this week it's been a good week for us European people because we got a game that was released last year and it's called Assassin's Creed 3.
Great game. I did a review on it actually last year, and I still think it's. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I still think Assassin's Creed 3 is the pinnacle of the series so far.
Oh hell
Um,
no, man! I thought it was the weakest. That
no,
Indian
actually,
guy. I mean, instead of saying whoa 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 whoa, whoa I mean it was so. I mean, going from Revelations and Ezio to 3 was for me. It was a way down, in my opinion. I mean, it still is a great game, and especially everyone loves free shit. Oh damn, I went there, but I didn't say that at all. I mean, I didn't swear there,
beep.
but beep.
Get the beep machine out.
Uh, I do it automatically, man. It's me.
I know, it's a Twitch.
And
But yeah, Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I don't see why it gets some of the criticism it does, because they did need to finish off the story. And let's be honest, by the time we finished Revelations, the whole Ezio thing, as much as I love Ezio, it was starting to get real old, real fast. And it's
yeah,
like
and
I don't care about Ezio anymore. I kind of want to know what's going to happen with Desmond. But at the same time, when you think about it in the grand scheme of the things like the Animus and stuff. it kind of made sense to have a new character in there, because even though it's the end of Desmond's story, and I won't ruin it for anybody with spoilers, but they needed to be able to bring in a new kind of protagonist that had history and lore that fitted in with the Animus's ability to go back into the different ancestors, and that's not something we'd seen for a while, because obviously, the first Assassin's Creed we went to Altair, and then every Assassin's Creed since, we've had Ezio, and then so they needed to shift it on a bit, and I think Connor was a fairly interesting enough character to be able to do it, but I think more importantly, the gameplay on Assassin's Creed 3 is what stands out head and shoulders above the previous ones, because of the variety that was there. I mean, the Homestead missions themselves were fantastic, and I know you hate it because it stole a little bit from Red Dead Redemption.
Not going there.
Yeah, we'll save that for a different rant. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
the thing is, right, uh, here I come with my fanboyism, and probably people will be like, yeah, you stupid Rockstar fanboy. But if you go from Red Dead Redemption and like hunting and, the skinning of animals, you're like, wait, this is it? Because,
yeah,
if
I
you
was
were in
just
Red
going to
Dead
say,
Redemption, you were like,
yeah, but in fairness, they actually did make it functional to the point of where it actually had a real purpose of being there.
yeah, I
So
mean, it was well done. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not saying Assassin's Creed 3 was a great game. It is one of the games, one of my games of the year, last year, because I really really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 on my website when I did a review on it. It is a great game, but I mean, going from Revelations and as action packed as the previous ones were, and how much personally, I think the Assassin's Creed series from Assassin's Creed 1, well, I didn't really play 1 that, till the
mm,
end because I got so bored of doing the same shit over and over again. And then, of course, I look at Saints Row 4 because that's the same case in that game. But, Assassin's Creed 2, for a lot of people, that is still the best Assassin's Creed. But for me, I personally like Revelations the most as far as I can remember it, and it's kind of a long time ago to be honest. But from Saints Row, my bad, from Assassin's Creed 2 to Revelations, it was like one big story, and the action got faster and faster, and then you go to Assassin's Creed 3 where it's just like it's basically a holiday vacation to a deserted island or something. Maybe it's a bit of a bad example and bit
yeah, that's
much,
probably
but
that is a really bad example when you
yeah, but I
consider
mean,
that Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is going to be all about going to different islands and taking vacations and stuff. So yeah, bad example.
welcome to the Rambling Gamer podcast, where we use really bad examples. Yeah, but
Shameless plug in the morning.
how can we
Uh,
shamelessly plug our own podcast while they're already watching?
True. But still, shameless. We should probably kick on from the Assassin's Creed stuff anyway, because I don't think we'll get a resolution as to who's right and wrong here. But
Yeah, that's the discussion between me and Dante. I want to be right, and Dante wants to be right. So in the end, we'll ramble on about an hour or two until
and then we'll all realise that Dante's right again. So, moving swiftly on.
Let's just continue before we start having a discussion about who's right and who's wrong.
Wrong. Jack and Daxter HD trilogy was probably the thing that caught my eye in terms of PlayStation Plus. Not only because they are fantastic games, obviously they were done during Naughty Dog's heyday on PlayStation 2, but it's the fact that we actually got them cross-buy as well. I mean, that's like 6 games, so, for what? Your PlayStation Plus subscription? I mean, how many months on PlayStation Plus do you ever get that many games?
Well, I gotta say, since they started the instant game collection, you get so much worth for your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Can
Before it was like I could hear Dante every week, like, "What the is this? I mean, once look at what we got and look at what the USA got. This is ridiculous, man."
Yeah.
You know, that and
But
pretty much every week, and then he. It was also funny to see him on the PlayStation blog. What the? What? You
should be
stupid!
fired. Give me the job. I'll do it. Oh,
But you know, ever
I'm
since
sorry.
even EA gave away a free game, which is rare. Let's just put it that
I
way.
know, I'm just waiting for the heart attack when Activision decide to give away something for free, because then that really will be a miracle. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
what games do they release again? Call of Duty and Call of Duty and Call of Duty.
yep.
I mean, for real, the only
And
game they
you forgot the Call of Duty apps
oh
that
yeah,
are
but
designed
they
to
are
last
already free.
your
So
Call of Duty experiences. Um, so yeah,
once again, for the fourth week in a row, we bash Call of Duty.
so we were talking about Plus, weren't we? So yeah, Shadow. Put my teeth in. Jack and Daxter H3 trilogy obviously came to Europe, and I think that's fantastic for Plus members. Obviously, the excellent Stealth Inc. Clone in the Dark. I can't tell you what the original name was, that because obviously that's swearing. But I've had a bash in that game, and it's a fantastic little indie game. I highly recommend you go check that out. Again, cross-buy, so you get the PS3 and Vita version, and then rounding up the Plus content for Europe, you get Urban Trial Field Freestyle, which is great if you love dirt bike, speed trial type games, and then a former Pod Station Pick of the Week game, which was a new Little King story, and I'm so glad they've made that free on PlayStation Plus, because I don't think enough people bought it or played it when it originally came out for the Vita, and it's such a quirky little Japanese type of Peakman game. Most people know what I mean, but when I say Peakman, but yeah, it got overlooked quite a lot. So I'm really glad that that's come onto PlayStation Plus, and that's going to spread its audience a bit, because I think that game was highly underrated from Konami. And that pretty much covers the PlayStation Plus stuff. We should probably go into the releases and things. Do you want to do the EU releases first or the US ones? Because we talked quite a lot about the EU stuff so far. So
Yeah, let's not piss off our American friends and just pick them
let's
first
not
now.
annoy our American friends.
Oh, did I say something bad again?
No, no.
Oh.
Just, just saying. So, yeah, on the American store, obviously, this week saw the release of the powerhouse that is Madden. Um, Madden 25 made its way. There's some quite good big releases as well. Final Fantasy 14, we'll talk about more of that later. Lost Planet 3, I really wish Capcom would stop with that franchise, because it gets worse with every game. Uh,
I've seen the reviews, yeah.
it's not good. I just don't get it. I really don't. Because, like, on PS3, we had Lost Planet 2. And that was great, but it was so difficult that it put people off. And when I mean difficult, I mean stupidly one of the hardest possible games I think I've ever played to even try and attempt the platinum for it. So, you know, if you're a trophy hunter, Lost Planet games really aren't for you. But more importantly, it's like we get the second game in the series, we get the third game in the series, and I think we didn't get the first game for a long time. It was
Yeah,
like,
but it's also designed by a different team, right, as far as I've heard.
yeah, so
So it's not even by the original developers, which mostly turns out to be um, not very good for the franchise.
but I kind of liked the concept of the Monster Hunter sort of type thing um, with Lost Planet 2, but if I'm honest, I'd rather them just have released Monster Hunter, because then, you know, why dress it up in something it's not? Give me Monster Hunter, I will throw money at you. Give me Lost Planet 2, and I will throw your game back at you. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Other titles and notes that have been released this week: Hatsune Miku Project Diva F, fantastic Japanese, like rhythm-based game. Definitely worth checking that out if you like all things Japanese. What else you got? Killer is Dead. New game from Suda51. It's not getting great reviews, but I would still pick that up myself because I like the quirky
Yeah,
Japanese.
I saw the trailers and all that because posted on my website and stuff. But at
Yeah.
first, when it was announced and things, I thought, well, this is probably going to be one of those games that's not going to get a lot of attention, like as in trailers and screens and stuff. But it actually turns out to be having like a lot of promotion behind it. It's a weird looking game, but I like the art style of it. But I'm not really big into the
Yeah, but
Japanese kind of stuff.
the thing is with Suda51 and Grasshopper, the guys that are behind it, the games tend to be hit and miss with when it comes to Western audiences. It's like Western audiences don't always necessarily get it, and sometimes the point is not to get it. It's just supposed to be like crazy, back bleep insane, and that's what they do best. And I wouldn't want the Suda51 or Grasshopper to change the way they do it. If Killer is Dead is pretty poor, then that's going to be a shame. But I would still go and check it out if you're a fan of what their work. I mean, they have done some pretty damn good games, such as Shadow of the Damned and No More Heroes. So they're not all that bad. And I still am a fan and really want a Killer 7 HD port. So, yeah, enough said about Suda 51. Spelunky made its way to the PlayStation Store this week in both regions. Yay!
Finally, something gets released on the same week. Yay!
Yay!
Now we don't have to get a whole rant of Dante about how ridiculous it is that it always happens. I think I'm smelling something. Is that Walking Dead Vida? Where is it? Where is it, Sony? Ah!
Didn't we rant about that last week?
Yeah, let's just not go there.
Yeah,
If
the
you want to hear
zombies.
more rants about the PlayStation Store and its ridiculousness, then be sure to check out the latest podcast.
Um, yeah, the zombies at Sony Europe are still working hard to not get that game out. So yeah, uh, but yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I think the US store has quite a damn big sale going on at the moment. There's pack sales and stuff. Most notable when it comes to the US sale is being able to pick up Need for Speed Most Wanted, which was free in Europe recently. But you can pick that up and the Vita version for about $20 each, which is definitely worth checking out. And as for the American Plus side of things, you get Machinarium on the Vita for free, which is a fantastic game. My co-host on the pod station, Kryptonite Dragon, will tell you that Machinarium is just one of his favourite games as well. Fantastic little thing. Most of those games that we've all mentioned have also come to the EU store this week as well. But we also got One Piece Pirate Warriors 2 for those that like their One Piece stuff. I was trying to figure out how to describe it. I was like,
It's a
can't remember.
Japanese pirate game. Yar!
I can't remember.
Matey.
But the thing with One Piece is I can never remember if it's anime or just a cartoon. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I have
Anime,
no
manga,
knowledge
cartoon.
whatsoever about Japanese kind of thing, so I guess we have to leave that to the people who actually do know what they're talking about.
Yeah. We got Persona 4 Arena this week as well, which is fantastic. Most notable, obviously, this week, which we'll talk more about again later on, is Killzone Mercenary Beta went public.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that shortly. Rayman Legends available from 29th of August. That's the PS3 version. Again, we'll talk about that again shortly. I feel like we're putting a lot of things on the back burner here. And yes, you can also buy the Final Fantasy XIV game digitally through the store. Just bear in mind for those that do, and again we'll cover this. In fact, do you know what? Sod it, we'll cover it now. You can buy the digital version. It's pretty cheap, although don't expect to buy it anytime soon because due to the increasingly popular demand for the game, it's really taken off, and I don't think Square Enix expected that, given the reputation that it had when it first launched a few years back. So much so they've actually had to pull the digital version from the store and put it down to basically you can't buy the digital version for the time being because they need to upgrade their servers, get more servers out in the data center. So if you're having problems with connecting to Final Fantasy 14, yes, it sucks, it's crap. That you have to wait, but do bear with them. I don't think anybody, not even myself, anticipated just exactly how popular it would be, certainly here in Europe. Um, so yeah, just bear with them. By the end of the sort of this week, early next week, a lot of the issues should be resolved and it should be back on the store. So don't be hating on the game just because it's popular.
Yeah, it's actually interesting how a company doesn't expect a game to be so popular because Final Fantasy, I mean, how long has this franchise been running, really?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it'd be different if we were talking about, say, a standard Final Fantasy game with, multiplayer options. That's fine. But we're talking about like one of the best MMOs to grace any platform. I mean, the original Final Fantasy 11 still is serviced on PS2. If you have the router for your PS2, you can still play Final Fantasy 11 on that
It's awesome.
pay subscription, and it shows you how much of a following. I think the only sort of MMOs that you can really compare with the Final Fantasy Online stuff is really Warcraft, because Final Fantasy 11 still has about 7 million regular subscribers and has done for consistently over years. It hasn't dropped players, but dropped huge volumes of players, but hasn't gained huge lots of players. But as I say, yeah, it does. It seems strange when you put the Final Fantasy title in front of it. You'd think, well, of course it's going to be popular. But as I say, due to the issues they had when they tried to launch Final Fantasy 14 about 2 years ago, and then had to take it offline for a year while they went and revamped the game, it's paid off. I think that's and that shows because the word's getting round that actually this game is not as broke as it originally was when it first launched, and that you really should go out and try and buy it and get involved with it. And I don't think Square Enix ever anticipated that.
Yeah, but I think like why would you pull it off the store? Because then people won't buy it.
But they have to, because otherwise, it's great. It's great if you can sell 5 million copies, but if you've only got 4 million spaces on your servers.
Yeah, but I mean, I would just, have a message or whatever with the when you buy the game, like, when you buy this game, please note you may have some problems with the server. I imagine that must be possible. I mean,
Yeah, but that
just
goes. Yeah, but the thing is, that goes without saying for anybody that has experience with MMOs. For those that don't, and this is their first MMO, you can imagine what the backlash is going to be. It's like, my game doesn't work, rah, 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 rah. And it's like, it's the first time you've played an MMO, so let me clue you in. Things happen during your first few weeks of an MMO launch. It happens to every MMO. Get with the program and bear with it. The
yeah,
rewards
I
will be
mean,
there for you
it's
when
a
you
complicated
accept it.
system, man. In a MMO, it's
Hmm.
if you know a thing or two about networking and stuff,
Yeah, but
it's
as I say,
huge.
Square Enix are on the case with it, so do bear with them. Don't go ranting, don't like spam up their like help threads and things like that, because from
Yeah, don't
find
go
it's if you
get any death threats to the developers because they nerfed
yeah,
the gun
that's
or whatever, and then of course I
just
look at once again at Call of Duty.
yeah, don't. I was going to say, don't follow the Call of Duty example where you start threatening community managers and stuff. Just persevere with it. It happens with any MMO launch, regardless of Final Fantasy or not. Just bear with them a week or so, and as I say, don't clog up their forums and stuff with it's not connecting. Because
They
it's saying,
know
well,
that.
oh, they know that, and you also the other thing to bear in mind is that if you clog up the forums stating the obvious, it means that those that are actually having legitimate problems with their product can't get the help that they need. So, do just bear that in mind when you want to state the obvious towards Square Enix.
Yeah.
But I think we should pretty much round up that store update. Was there anything in particular that you'd sort of caught your eye on any of the store updates?
Well, no, not really.
Well,
Yeah,
there was
it's
one thing for me, and
well,
that is um, absolute bargains. There's a lot of sales going on both in the EU and in the US, but the absolute bargain of the century, as much as I hate the game, Little Big Planet Vita for £5.69. You know, that game still retails at 30 quid for the physical one, and its normal selling price on the store is 26.99. So to be able to pick it up for just over a fiver is an absolute bargain.
yeah. I mean, I've played Little Big Planet 1 and 2,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not really my
your cup of tea
thing.
because you can't make GTA levels.
Yeah.
You should try.
I'm not patient and creative enough for that, man.
Yeah, I'll
That's
give over.
pretty much it.
You make a podcast every week.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with creativity. That's just,
Should we do our shameless plug?
turn on the mic and have someone else to talk to, and see how it goes. And if it's
Should we do a shameless plug?
sure, whatever. It's already ruined anyway. So
You're listening to the Rambling Gamers featuring GTA Man and Ramsey Zero. Now let's move on and ramble. So got some news stories for us.
yeah, the Killzone Shadowfall multiplayer has been revealed. Yeah, I'm not getting a PS4, but I imagine Dante is looking forward to it.
I am indeed. I actually like the concept of Killzone Shadow 4 multiplayer. Um, what's interesting about it is a lot of the time when you see a first-person shooter, it's always about guns, guns, and more guns. It's like, yay, we can customize 50 variations of the same gun.
Yeah, we can customize our soldier, but we're playing in first person view, so we won't see the soldier.
Exactly. A lot of it becomes, it gets mired down on all these small details, which, for some people is great, but it's kind of like, how many times do you want to sell the game based on customizing your gun? And see, this is why I'm kind of warming more with the Kill. I'm a big fan of the Killzone franchise, but why I'm kind of warming more to the Shadowfall thing is that they've kind of turned it on its head this time round. It's not about necessarily customizing your characters and your weapons loadout. It's about customizing the way you play. So you'll be able to essentially set the rules for the games that you want to play online and put them out there. So you create the types of games that you want to play, the rules with the games, and then people can decide whether that's for them or not. And I think that's a lot more interesting than how many different coloured sniper barrels I can have. I really do, and I think that's going to be an interesting thing to do with Killzone Shadowfall. And I'm curious to see more of it as we run up to the PS4 launch. They only briefly explained how it's going to kind of work, but I really want to see it in practice on running live, if you know what I mean. So I want to see, a kind of trailer really over the coming months of like somebody creating the unique thing, playing it online, changing it up, and then doing it again. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm quietly excited for Killzone Shadowfall. I think the single player stuff looks bloody awesome graphically, and I like some of the additions that they put in, like the little robot thing that follows you around that has a lot more uses and has touchpad integration with the DualShock 4. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't do it like the Killzone 3 multiplayer. I hope it's more towards Killzone 2, because in my opinion, I thought Killzone 2 was better than Saints Row. For crying out loud, I keep saying
You've got
Saints Row.
great.
I think it's just the pure hatred I have for the game at the moment. That I hope it's much like Saint. For crying out loud, I keep saying it. Killzone 2. I hope it's more like Killzone 2 instead of Killzone, because I much more liked Killzone 2 than Killzone 3.
Yeah, I think that there's a balance between the both of them. I think Killzone 3 had some interesting mechanics, but I don't know, it got bogged down in some areas that Killzone 2 did a lot better with. So yeah, I definitely think that that Guerrilla Games seem to have really got this right with Killzone this time, because it's kind of like the original Killzone was fantastic for its time, but hasn't aged well, as the HD remake showed. And then you had Killzone 2, which was fantastic, and then Killzone 3, which graphically looked a hell of a lot better. It brought lots of colours in, but it kind of forgot what it was all about. Do you see what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there wasn't those memorable moments in Killzone 3, bar the ending, that you had in Killzone 2, and it's kind of like they forgot that. And I mean, the essence I get from Shadowfall is it seems to be taking the best bits from 2 and 3 and really trying to make something that stands out. And I really do think it's going to be fantastic when it launches on PS4 on launch day as well. It's a launch time,
Yay!
so
Launch
um,
title.
you'll be able to pick it up day one. And that actually utilises the background downloads as well. When you actually pick up the game, you can play the first level as soon as you fire it up. If you're buying it digitally, it'll download the first level, and then everything else will download in the background while you're playing through it. If you buy it on disc, all your patches will just come down, and you can just you play it straight away. So
Yeah, but I mean, you have a brilliant internet speed. How
uh,
how would that work? I mean, if the level 2 will be what 1 gig,
hmm.
maybe it's a bit extreme, but by the time you finish level 1, it won't be downloaded.
Well, no, because one of the things they have said is that with download you'll have the option of like multiplayer and the first level. So,
Uh-huh.
and the levels themselves are designed to last a long period of time. I think the average they said was about an hour and a half.
Nice.
So by then, obviously, you would have downloaded enough. By the time you finish that mission, you should have at least downloaded enough to start the second one, and so on. And failing that, I mean, you can obviously go into the multiplayer side of things. But to be honest with you, it's a nice feature to have if you intend on doing all your digital purchase
Oh yeah, I mean it's a
or your
very nice feature
digitally.
indeed, but I'm just saying I'm a bit skeptical about people that don't have a brilliant internet speed. That's all
But
I'm saying.
I've got to be honest, as a collector, the majority of the PS4 stuff that I'll intend to buy is probably going to be with the bigger games is probably going to be on retail disc.
Oh yeah, I'm a retail person too, but I'm just saying. Because I see a lot of people be like happy that GTA 5, for example, is coming on digital launch because, for example, in
They can
Brazil.
share it with all their friends on account sharing. Yay! That's why everybody's happy.
No, no,
It's
it's
nothing
more.
to do with like different countries. It's
No,
like
but for
yay.
example, man, in Brazil, the prices over there for retail copies are ridiculous. So I see people, I know someone from Brazil who's like, well, thank God, now I can, grab it on the digital form, so I don't
Yeah,
have to pay another 250 million.
yeah, but then in fairness, that's down to people in those countries, especially with Brazil, where the PS2 still sells huge, large volumes of numbers, because that is as you say, things are expensive. The PS2 there is actually pretty cheap. So Sony market the hell out of the PS2 in there, which is something it does better than its competitors. In emerging markets, it actually markets the hell out of them, which is going to be interesting to see how that has an impact with PS4 and Xbox One. Because obviously with Xbox One, there's the issue of like regional things and online services and things, and it's like with PlayStation 4, it's going to be a case of as long as you got an internet connection, whack it in, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that is. But we should probably round up the Killzone stuff by just talking about
Killzone Mercenary, the public beta.
yes. You have had a chance to play this, yeah?
Yeah, I've played it for a bit. I've played a few rounds, and I gotta say, it was I enjoyed it quite a lot, but I didn't want to play it too much because, then I will be wasting time on
Spoilers.
a game that's coming out next Wednesday, and just,
Yeah.
since it's a beta, it's kind of a waste of the time. But as far as I've played, I really enjoyed it. The controls were it took a little while to get used to, but once you're used to it, the connection was, as far as I could see, there was not that much lag, and the map I played was looked okay because there was a lot of variation in it. You had this fan going around, and
It's a
you could
pretty
hack.
big map though, isn't it, for a portable first-person shooter? I was
Yeah,
surprised at how big that map actually was.
yeah. And there's a lot of stuff you can do aside from killing and do the objective. I mean, you could hack something. I don't know exactly precisely what it was, but then you get some extra points for it. And as far as I could see, the customization and the things you can buy, they're pretty expensive, and it makes you want to play the game some more to get that gun or that grenade or whatever.
Yeah.
It's looking to be a really good multiplayer. I'm
I
looking
think
forward to it.
I think for me, graphically, it's probably the best first-person shooter on a portable I've seen.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think it's a second first-person shooter coming out on the PS Vita, so yeah. And to be honest, it doesn't really have any
well,
competition if
I
you
was
look
going to
at
say when you
Resistance
compare,
Burning
I
Skies.
was going to say when you compare it to Resistance Burning Skies and Call of Duty Declassified, it's not an easy feat. It's a pretty easy feat to be considered quite
Yeah.
a graphical powerhouse on the Vita. But
Wait for the
I
websites to use the line "best first-person shooter on the PS Vita," and every little kid is like, "Oh, I should click and watch the review." Please note there are only 3 shooters on the Vita at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky for people doing a review, I've got to admit, because obviously those are the only things you're going to be able to compare it to. But I was genuinely, those things aside, I was genuinely surprised at how good looking it actually really is. It really does feel like a console experience on the handheld, and Sony talk a lot about that a lot of the time. And when it comes to the games, Sony can only do so much themselves, and hopefully this will spur third-party developers to really get behind the Vita and sort of say, well, actually, yes, we can produce console experiences on the go. And Killzone Mercenary will probably be the game that really drives that message home with a lot of developers, I think.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, I do like the metagame side of things as well. That card system, the Valor card system, is pretty cool. For those that
Yeah.
don't know, basically every time you kill an enemy, you pick up a playing card, or if they kill you, you drop a playing card. The idea is that you've got to make a deck of them. But here's where it gets interesting: is that if you're playing a game and you shoot like a team of people and you get like four of those people all have the same cards in different suits, you get a four of a kind. So it's a bit like poker kind of thing as well. And then as a result of doing that, you get a lot more extra rewards and things. So, it's kind of like you've got this card system, but then it becomes functional as well.
Yeah, it's like really in depth and really well thought, and that's
Yeah.
you know it's something unique for once instead of get your UAV and you know
Let's
I was
just throw in an extra big stealth bomber for getting extra 2 kills, or how about a planet cracker missile where we basically blow up the planet because you've killed everybody on the team 10
yeah, and
times.
how about we bring back one of the most annoying perks
Oops.
in the entire franchise, and of course I look at you, Danger Close. I mean, why the hell did they bring that back? I mean, if you go on Modern Warfare 2, you either see 2 types of people. You see the people with one-man army, Danger Close Commando, or you see modders who are flying around with their aimbot. It's it's just come on.
But
But I mean,
thankfully, Killzone Mercenary doesn't have any of that kind of
yeah,
crap,
just
and it keeps everything manageable and functional, and it just feels fantastic for a
that's
shooter.
what
I
I
mean,
like about Killzone. There are not a lot of guns, but because of that, it's so well balanced.
hmm. Yeah, no, I found it extremely well balanced when I was playing. The only concern that I have with the multiplayer side of things, and I don't know if you came across this, was spawn camping. The
Yes.
map is pretty big, so there should be no excuses why when I spawn that I can get taken down straight away.
Yeah, we
That
all remember Reddick Academy in Killzone 2.
amen to that, but I don't
That
know.
was why everyone wanted to play that map.
I'm
Spawn
pretty.
trap for days.
I'm pretty certain that the guys at Gorilla will fix it. I mean, it's fair to say that this is really the first project from Gorilla Cambridge. So I'm kind of generous enough to let some of the smaller things go. But I was sort of looking at Killzone Mercenary, thinking this would be a nice game to pick up in a few months' time. Really gauge your reaction. And now, actually, I'm excited for it to launch, and I really do, if possible, want to pick it up on launch day because I do think it's a fantastic shooter for the Vita, and I can really get behind it.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it the day they made the release date come earlier,
Yeah.
and they tweeted Rockstar like, "Yeah, we're gonna be the big man and just step away. You win this one." I thought that was really cool of them
Yeah.
just say that. I mean, it has a sense of humor in it, and it's actually true. Because when I saw the release date for Killzone Mercenary a day after GTA 5, I was like, yeah, that's not gonna sell.
Yeah, no developer wants to send their game out to die, unless, of course,
Yeah,
you're Activision, in which case you constantly send your game out to die, but or
yeah,
Sega for that matter. But yeah, no, I think it was fair play to them. To be honest with you, I'm surprised it was releasing so late because I actually personally think playing that beta, open beta, that the game actually looks done, give or take, a few tweaks here or there. But
yeah.
the game looks done, so why not get it out now?
Yes.
It's only because I want to play it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a week that you have to wait. I mean, the Americans people
Well, I don't know.
wait a
Isn't it
little
September
longer.
the 10th?
No, it's next week. At least for me, it is.
I'm sure it was September the 10th. It's a week
No, it's
before
next.
GTA 5.
No, that's for the US. Europe is getting it next week.
Hmm.
Yay!
I need to check that for myself.
Yeah,
That
you
might be.
check that, but for me, it's next Wednesday.
I was going to say I will need to check it for myself because if no, if it is, I've just added an extra expense to my bills that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it the week after. So anyway, moving swiftly on from all the Killzone shoot and blah 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 stuff. You had some news that you want to share this with your favourite topic that isn't Saints Row 4.
Yeah, GTA 5 had a good old-fashioned blowout of the information. But before we do that, Borderlands 2 is having Game of the Year edition releasing in October.
Don't care. Give me the Vita version now.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to it because I was actually waiting for that because I actually still have to beat Borderlands 1, but if I wanted to get Borderlands 2, I thought, well, why not get the Game of the Year edition? Because
Well, here's the thing as well. What's strange is how much 2K has supported Borderlands 2 more than the first one. I don't know if many people know, but like for example, the DLC season pass has been put on sales via the PlayStation Store quite a few times, where you can actually pick it up for next to nothing. They've also included extra content that you can buy outside of the season pass. They've also given you a ton of free stuff with things like level caps and things. So they're doing really well to support this. But the other thing is as well is you can actually buy DLC packs on disc.
yeah,
The actual DLC packs, you can get them on a dedicated disc. And I saw this the other day in like Tesco's. Of course, there are other popular retail brands should you wish to go shop there. But and I was shocked by the fact that they'd actually put these onto disc. I was like, okay, how does that work? So do you have to fire up Borderlands 2 and then swap out the disc when you want to play?
There's
the
probably a good
DLC. I was
there's
like,
probably a good explanation for it which we don't have.
yeah. So, but no, I think it's really cool. And as you mentioned, obviously with the Game of the Year edition, they announced that it will contain all the DLC. It will be retailing for about the price of a new game, but it will have everything that you could possibly want, including all the patches. Which, if I remember rightly, there's a new patch coming very shortly, version 1.08, which will increase the level cap again. Um, and by the looks of it, we may get a second season of DLC as well.
Yay, more DLC.
So if you're a Borderlands 2 fan, that's great news. I'm just curious though. We joke about getting on the Vita and stuff because we really want a four-player co-op on the go. But I'm just curious how they're actually going to fit the game and the DLC onto a Vita memory card. It's like
Yeah, that's gonna be an
that's going to be
interesting one.
yeah, it's going to be a real challenge. One thing's for certain is that when it does come out on Vita, I ain't buying it digitally because I just know that it's going to like suck up a 32 gig memory stick.
Yeah, probably.
So
But yeah, that was the quote unquote interesting stuff for the day. We kind of chose. Let's just do the GTA 5 stuff at the end, so then when people are not interested in GTA 5, they won't be, you know, scared of at the beginning of the podcast and be like, God, no, no, not him again with his GTA 5, no, and then they all go away. I mean, it's all about them views, right? No, it's not. But yeah, yesterday it was announced that GTA 5 will have 17 radio stations. That means that there are 15 music stations and then 2 talk show radio stations.
how many tracks per station do we know?
Don't know. There is only one radio station full track list revealed. It's called Fly Low FM. The name says it already. The artist called Flylo has his own radio station, aka better known as Flying Lotus. I have no idea who he is. That is my very honest answer to that. But he is having some new songs for the game, and Tyler, the creator, also has new material on there, as far as I've read. So it's going to be an interesting radio station, but
I
I'm
was,
no kind of person that enjoys that kind of music. It's not really my thing, but I expect it will fit with GTA 5, and I'll give it a listen. But I think it's more kind of Dante's kind of music. But I don't know if you
well,
ever heard of Flylo.
I was going to say, yeah, the fact they've named the radio station Fly Low FM is quite funny because then that sort of goes back to GTA's British humour when it was originally created, because obviously Fly Low means your zipper's running low. So I don't know if anybody got that reference,
No, I
but
didn't. But
yeah,
thanks for sharing.
but yeah, it means your zipper's low. It's British humour, but no, I mean we've talked about the GTA music before, and I think it's going to be a step up from the previous versions.
As far as I've
We
heard,
talked
there are
about some of the artists.
240 songs, all licensed and stuff. I mean, as far as I know, like we got this track list. I mean, you can look them up, probably on my channel. Just if you're on there, just go to one of my last videos. I've covered it, and there's a link in the description where you can see it, the track list. But
I have faith in the music though, because I remember
yeah,
talking to you about it before, and it was like you were telling me about Kavinsky being on there and stuff, and I was
yeah,
like, that's pretty cool, and I think it'll be the typical variation that you can expect with the GTA games.
yeah.
It
They
just
really they
I
really
think
wanted like to capture the LA feel and stuff with the more modern LA rock bands and all that crap. And you
yeah, I
know,
just don't want it to get old quick though. Where you listen to a radio station and like 6 tracks later, it's like on repeat, and I'll be like, ugh.
no, 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 no. I mean, I don't really want to go and count them all, but I'm just gonna do it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 20, 22, 24. Let's just say about 25 songs in that radio station alone.
Well, we'll see. That's pretty good then, because that equates to what, about
Yeah, but that
an
also
hour and a half, 2 hours worth of music
now
before it starts
probably even
repeating.
more because you got
Yeah,
you got the stupid jingles in between
adverts
them
and
and
yeah.
and they got your rich kid punk music. It's R&B, which show. Oh wait, no, let's go there because then it comes to profanity.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think that the music's going to be great for it. I think there's going to be something for everyone in there. What I'm kind of surprised at though, really, is this is a next gen. This is really a next gen GTA in comparison to GTA 4. If you
Yeah.
think about it, it's the first real proper got a next gen feel to it that's really going to redefine open world games. And what I'm surprised at is we're still not talking about, yes, the amount of effort and production into the music is great, and it's one of the greatest things about GTA, the music. But I
Hmm.
still can't import my own music.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of saddens me a little bit that they
Yeah,
still
but
have
I mean,
not done
why
that.
would you do that, man? They put so much effort in like the commercials and the radio DJs. It would be such a waste of time if they would
No, not
just
at
be
all.
like,
I think it's a nice option to have. Especially if you're going to be spending, especially in your case, especially if you're going to be spending thousands of hours. I've got to be honest with you. As great as the production values is on the music and stuff, 250 tracks just don't cover thousands of hours worth of gameplay.
yeah, but you know, as far as I know, that there are some fantastic songs in there because if Rockstar uses a song in a trailer, then it's in the game. So we got a Radio Gaga, we got, all the songs from the trailers.
Yeah,
And as far as I know, I don't know if you ever heard of the song Radar Love by Golden Earring.
sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I mean Top Gear named it the best driving song of all time. So I mean,
Well, it's got to be good then.
it is a very very good song. It's actually by a Dutch band. Yay, representing. But then there's also Kavinsky, who is supposedly having his own radio station. I mean,
That'll be
I'm
it.
not I'm not really big on Kavinsky, but as far as I've heard like the song Night Call from
Yeah.
like the Drive movie, it's something that I would like, in the night going through the desert. It's good.
No,
But
I've got to.
probably Rockstar will reveal the full track list of
If
everything
that if that
pretty
full
soon, I hope.
Kavinsky if that full Kavinsky album's on there, then it's an instant win for me, because the Kavinsky album is actually really good. I don't know for those that haven't listened to it, but go track the album down, because it's very much like Daft Punk, but not. It's like Daft Punk if it were in the 80s. It kind of has this. Do you remember the Sega game Outrun?
No, but I know Kavinsky has a song called Outrun.
Yeah, well, it's kind of got that 80s vibe where you jump in a sports car and you
Yeah,
go on like
that's what I
this
like about Kavinsky. He really
Android
has that like that
journey.
80s feel thing
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, and you've got like this sort of nocturnal journey going on throughout the course of the album, and that's what makes it great. You really should take the time to check out the entire album. It's great, and it all kind of comes together because there are occasions where the songs just, you'll find one song that's a bit meh, but then when you actually listen to it as an album, from track 1 to 4, track one to 10, you'll actually realise that although that song may be a bit meh, it actually fits in with the rest of the music that's coming through the album.
Hold up.
So yeah, Kavinsky coming as well, which is, as I say, pretty good. I personally don't know what other tracks are being included in the game, but this is a revisit to Los Santos, so you can expect your R&Bs, your Europop. In fact, I can't wait to listen to some of the Europop stuff, especially if it's like some of the old funny things. like Numa Man and Eiffel 65's Blue. I'd love to see those kinds of tracks in the game. So yeah, I just think we're set for quite a musical extravaganza. I just still want the option to have my own customizable track list.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to head on to like the last couple of things.
Yep.
Because I just got a little message saying that I have to go. GTA 5 has passed 2 million pre-orders in the USA alone. That is a total of 2,439,882 pre-orders in the USA alone, and it has gone gold.
Kill surprise.
So yeah, I hope it's gonna break Modern Warfare 3's record. Really, would be cool.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, whether it breaks it or not, I think we all know it's going to sell by the bucket loads, and
Yeah.
Dan Houser's going to be able to buy a new house at the end of the day. It's all good.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, okay, if you say so. Right. You were going to say about special editions, weren't you, as well, and some GTA Online stuff?
Yeah, there's some more details about the special editions. It's a really long story, so you should just go to the Rockstar Newswire and you will find it there. But the most interesting thing on there is that Nico, Bellic, and Claude and Misty will actually be in the multiplayer.
Yay, but why all the hate for Tommy Vercetti? Why can they put him in there? Or CJ? If they're going to go back and put, like,
Yeah, I'm
unlockable
hoping that they're
characters,
gonna,
they should put those in as well.
I hope they're gonna do it like with the multiplayer, DLC and stuff that they put them in there.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
It'd be a shame if they don't put them all in there, and they only just put those, like, 3. That'd
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And those come with the both special editions, like the collector's edition?
No, that's only the collector's edition.
Oh, so it's only if you pay the £120 version?
Yay! But, I mean, they're probably coming out as DLC later anyway, like they did with Max Payne 3.
Yeah. No, still, I mean, I suppose that's an added bonus if you're dropping 120 quid on a collector's edition, you're going to get something digital-wise that's going to, people are going to look at and go, oh, that's really cool, I really want to buy it, and then we can all laugh because it's not going to be available for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, really.
Yeah. Well, we've only got, what, like 2, 3 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, a little less than 3 weeks. So it's gonna be an interesting wait. I'm starting to get more and more buzz, but
yeah. And the worst thing
I actually got a poster of the cover art like right in front of me right now, which is kind of haunting. But
yeah, and what's most disturbing is the mental image people are getting in their heads when you're looking at that poster. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah, that's 18 plus and all that.
Yeah. Ew, that's nasty.
And we're banned from iTunes.
Anyway. We just got a few tidbits. Was there anything else that you wanted to add on to the GTA stuff?
Well, we might have some interesting GTA Online stuff as well. You can buy one apartment, and then once you have enough money, you can buy more apartments. Well, as in you trade, you move basically. You can customize your home with expensive wood, fancy accessories, big TVs, and more. You can install a tracking device to your car in case Dante steals your car. So you can
I like the way it's in case I steal your car.
You're going to be one of these guys that just doesn't go and do any heists and just steal from other people.
Yep.
Well, I'm here building an arsenal.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to build an arsenal. Well, I'm going to F-16 your arsenal.
There are quick races. You can set a waypoint on the map and then just race to them. It's very cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that switches up the variety as well, because with the classic GTA 4 races, it was kind of like...
They're still there. And GTA races are also still there.
Yeah, but what I mean is that once you've done them like 2 or 3 times on GTA 4, it's kind of again comes back to this repetitiveness, and like now it's a case of you've got the options of the classic ones, but you've also got that feature that you find in a lot of racing games, which is, you just pull up to the traffic lights and then race, and the the entire city or county is your racetrack, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. You can improve your gun skills, stamina, and such. So basically, the stuff that is in single player, where you can improve your gun skills, etc., is also in the multiplayer.
RPG elements coming in.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
See, this is why I make a compelling case for GTA as an MMO. I told you it was creeping in. I'll be honest with you, right? I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, and I know we're rambling gamers, and I'm rambling on a bit. But back last year when we did the pod station, I said when we talked about GTA, then I said, the natural transition for GTA would be, one more game out the window, get that done, and then the natural thing is to move it into that MMO space, because you can still have the quest type things with GTA having its own style on it, but you can have your things like your auction houses where you can get arms and your races and all your mini games and stuff that you can do cooperatively, or do like massive gang wars and stuff, and it just seems perfect fit for the MMO. And the more I hear about GTA Online, the more I get the feeling that that is actually what's going to happen with the series, that it is going to become an MMO.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar said, well, it's something that we,
and I called that last year. So if it happens, there you go.
The Rambling Gamer Podcast, where we, give Dante some more ego.
Where we predict the future.
Speaking of missions, there are at least 500 missions at the beginning. It is rumored that there are actually 700, but 500 has been confirmed as far as I've read, which is huge. But of course, then again, you don't know what kind of missions. Maybe it's a mission that's like press A and then you get $500 or something. I mean, they probably get more and more difficult throughout the game, let's say.
I'm looking forward to all the mini-game stuff, though. I think they're going to factor in, what is there, ping. There's actually things like ping pong and stuff, isn't there, and tennis and all sorts. It'd be cool to see how the missions with those sorts of things. It's maybe like serve 10 aces and then beat somebody up with a tennis racket. I think that'd be a cool mission. So.
Yeah. And then each mission has its own table, like you had in the Battle of Gate Tony, with like 100%ing of the missions and stuff.
Yeah.
So that might explain the platinum medals.
And you can replay them, can't you, at any time? So
no details about that.
I'm sure I saw something this week which said that basically you could replay any of the missions at any point as well. So
that's GTA Online. This is GTA Online. So.
All right. Okay.
Probably will happen in the 5 too, but we'll see, I guess. And then you can hire a coordinator, drivers, and more. So basically, you can hire probably AI crew members to do a heist with. So if you're like Dante and you don't got too many friends, then you can just hire IE.
Thanks, buddy. Ego mode in deflation now.
I'm joking. I don't have any friends and he does.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Yeah, I probably shouldn't sing that on a podcast because of like copyright laws and all that. But yeah,
you sing so well, you're gonna get a copyright strike. Really not.
Yeah, no.
Probably gonna get a copyright strike for the most.
Oh my god!
All time.
I just realised they sound like Vicky Pollard out of like Little Britain. Then, yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but yeah. Anyway,
this is the time where we say, "Oops, let's just stop with this," because.
Well, we do have two quick tidbits to cover before the end, and they're not GTA related. So if you've gone through the GTA stuff and you're still listening, fantastic, well done, you. You get a smiley face. But yeah,
because I don't smile.
Yeah, we all know that miserable git. But
And
anyway,
once again, don't say who will have struggles to be on next week.
next week on the Rambling Gamers, we talk about Dante being fired. Anyway,
Yeah, we got rid of Amy, so.
oh, she's coming. Just for the record, Amy will be back on the Rambling Gamers at some point with us in the near future. So do bear with us on that. So you'll get to hear a lovely British woman come back and soothe your ears with gaming news.
Yay, more females! I never talked to them, so that's something that's worth listening to, I guess.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that out loud. That's something you should keep in your head. Because if you're not going to attract women now, if you couldn't attract women before, you're certainly not going to now.
Right.
Anyway,
No dating advice on the Rebelling Gamer podcast the next time. Because Dante is horrible at it.
I was just thinking we probably should do something about dating gamers and stuff on the pod station, but never mind. Anyway, tidbits of news. We're digressing here. Tidbits of news. So, two really big pieces of news for nerds like myself. The first thing is PS4 news. Exciting. Woohoo. We're all excited about that. It was confirmed by Shu Yoshida this week because he tends to answer questions about stuff on Twitter and things, and he confirmed this week that if you have the mobile phone app for PlayStation 4 and you buy your digital content, your PS4 will remotely wake up as soon as you purchase the content via the mobile phone app. It will then begin to download your content. So if you're out and about and you want to pick up, say, Killzone Shadowfall, and you go to the mobile phone app, you select purchase. As soon as you complete the purchase, your PS4 at home will wake up and start downloading. That's probably terrible news if you have a download cap. But it's great news for everybody else. And let's be honest, in this day and age, if you're with an internet provider that has a download cap, shame on you. Go and find someone that's got an unlimited download cap. But yeah, it's really fantastic that they've confirmed that that's going to be the case, because we've seen a lot of these like Sizzler trailers, and you know how it is. You see a trailer about all these so-called features, you know how they work and stuff, but everybody's always skeptical about whether or not it will or will not work. Well, the fact that it's actually been confirmed that it will work is great news, especially for those buying a PS4. And I'm a big fan of the mobile app thing as well. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know about you, because you're not getting a PS4 straight away, are you?
Nope.
Yep. Well, for
no
you.
GTA, no console. That's my motto.
It'll come eventually. Which actually, while we're talking about PS4 news and GTA, just a little thing here that I did see crop up, and you've probably seen this crop up on Twitter, and I don't know whether there's any truth on this, but did you see the tweet that came from
Yeah,
the
I've
UK?
seen it, but it's a typo.
Yeah, okay. If you believe that, then power to you. I think that someone has not really been keeping up with the internal memos and may have just leaked something there. Because let's be honest.
Well, I mean, it's eventually going to be on next-gen consoles. There's no way around that, but not right now, because, you know, they want to get as much sales as possible.
Sony hinted something that they were going to do special stuff with Rockstar, and they were rebuilding that partnership back at E3. And so far, all we've had is a headset and a bundle. PS3 bundle, that's it, and a 75% discount off for digital games if you pre-order GTA 5 digitally, which, as we talked about, we found a little bit insulting. So, you know, the conspiracy person inside me is kind of saying there actually could be something to this, and it could be a lot sooner than we think, but the reason they're not saying anything at the moment is because they obviously want to get the current version shipped out the door and at least give it time to sell before they actually announce anything for next gen.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see some kind of announcement before the end of the year. But, you know, if I get it wrong, by all means, laugh at me, but still, you know.
I mean, we're gonna see it. I think it's going to be like around April, May, along with the PC version, but we'll see, man. It's you know, we still also got Agent on the radar, I suppose. So.
God, does that even still exist?
I think so. I mean, it's still on the Rockstar website, so
Yeah, well,
it's alive, I guess. So
just the logo with no screenshots, no video, no blurb, just a,
it's
just a logo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, we'll see, man.
yeah. Fingers crossed. But the last bit of news that I want to cover, anybody that's played PC or PS1 in the early 90s all know of a game called Broken Sword. It's an adventure puzzle game that's point and click and was huge back in those days. Covers the adventures of a quirky American lawyer called George Stobart, who gets caught up in an explosion in a cafe in Paris while on vacation. He meets this girl called Nicole Collard, and they go on this adventure of conspiracy and mystery and puzzles and things. It is one of the truly defining adventure games that I've played and really, did affect me when I played it. I've beaten that game so many times because the humour and the dialogue's brilliant. Well, the brilliant news that we've got to share with you to round out the Rambling Gamer is it's back. It's going back to its roots. It's coming.
I'm back, baby.
It's going to keep its original art style. Revolution Software have successfully got it kick-started for PS Vita, which is great because the PS Vita can obviously do with more games, but more importantly is because the game itself is a point-and-click adventure, it just seems to fit so well with the PS Vita's touchscreen controls, and I think it's going to be a truly fantastic game, especially if they can recapture the humour, because they did do a Broken Sword game on PS2 that was in 3D, but it didn't have the same impact. It was missing all the things that made it special. So yeah, we'll end the news on that it is coming. It's going to be called Broken Sword and the Serpent's Curse. I think that's what it's called, and it should be due with us early part of 2014. So if you have a PS Vita and you're an old school PC PS1 gamer, happy days.
Glory days.
And I even believe in it so much that I'm gonna beat GTA Man up until he buys it because he's missing out.
Is it releasing after GTA 5?
Dude, there's a lot of games releasing after GTA 5.
No chance then. Right, I think we should wrap this up.
I'm gonna burn your GTA 5 copy.
You do that.
Yeah.
Have fun with that, by the way. Dante, I gotta say, man, good luck. Good luck with burning down my GTA 5, because there is no way you're even gonna get near you, because one, you don't know where I live, and if you would be in front of my door, it was like, wait, you're a stalker. And then again, my GTA 5 is going to be locked up. It's like, if you even come near it, I will slap you.
Ooh, you're gonna slap me, you girl.
Well, I mean,
slap me.
Yes, like a 12-year-old.
But no, you're right. Travelling a couple of thousand miles to burn somebody's copy of GTA 5 is probably a bit extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we should put this stuff out of its misery and make an end to it. Because as we're recording this, in an hour, I gotta be really hyped up and all that stuff for the new GTA 5 trailer that's going to be released. Oh.
So, if you're following GTA Man on Twitter, you may want to unfollow for the next 2 hours or so.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of caps lock stuff. And if you are interested, I tend to do first impressions on that. I know that always tends to be an example of how much of a wreck I am and how much I am obsessed with GTA.
Shameless plug.
Well, that's on my channel too. I mean, I'm the guy here who just reached, I think it was yesterday or the day before that, with 1,000 subscribers. So, and where you at with your 50 subscribers? Trophies on PSN. Get on my level. I'm joking. Speaking of trophies on PSN.
Yeah, well, we're trying.
Hey, you're doing good work over there, man. If you're still watching the podcast and you're still not a member of Trophies on PSN, just have a look around, man.
Why not?
Signing up is free. Give me another referral or Dante, but you know, Dante already has like 50 million of those things, although there are not too many members. Anyway, when you're on there, of course, be sure to check out gamingonravel.com, because that is a website that Kryptonite Dragon keeps saying you have to do it for me, or I will. You know, it's like, yeah,
So
it's his
anyway,
little puppy.
let me just translate that for you.
Blah 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 blah
Basically,
blah 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 blah. That's what I said.
basically, if you want to know the PlayStation, all the latest PlayStation news, you love guides, art cards, YouTube vids, competitions, general discussions, etc., etc., then head on to TrophiesonPSN.com, and as GTA Man said, sign up. There's plenty to do, and you know we welcome anybody that does. If you're into your YouTube things and podcasts and PC games and Wii's and all that other kind of technical jazz, on how to do things and how to monetize things, check out gamingunravel.com. I must stress that it's spelled with only one L. Gamingunravel.com. Go and check it out. They've got a great community there that's slowly starting to find its rhythm and build. So it officially launched last week, at the end of last week. So go check them out. There's loads of fun things, and you can learn how to do crazy ass podcasts like we do, what equipment you need, YouTube videos, and all that sort of stuff. So do go check it out.
This is not a crazy podcast, Dante. This is a mess. But it's fun. But it's
Yep.
fun.
Well,
People seem to
apparently,
like it, so.
I was going to say, apparently people seem to like it, so who am I?
I think we should end this with Dante saying goodbye.
Goodbye.
This has been the Rambling Gamers, episode 4. Bye.